Going live. 3, 2, 1. And we are on, kid. We're about to be on Facebook Live. You'll be my guest. And there we are, dude. We are on. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I just did a pretty long video yesterday, but had to join back on again. Because, well, sure enough, we have changes day to day. But before we get going on everything, I got a special guest here, right next to me. Hamza Rodriguez. Hamza, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
All right, you got any words to say to them?
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Subscribe to Hamza's Corner.
What are we going to see in Hamza's Corner?
Me playing games or me with my friends and all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff. Anything else other than games and playing around?
Some stuff about my life.
Okay, any neat stuff about your life that I don't know about? Or do I know it all?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
Nothing neat?
Nothing neat.
Oh, come on, dude. You gotta give us better information than that so we can subscribe. What better stuff you got for us? Come on. I know you got really good things. You do it to me all the time. Oh, look, you got people saying hello. Hi, Ariel.
What's up?
What's up, Ann? Well, as you guys know, I got my sidekick. I'm calling him my sidekick because, well, you don't have school right now, right?
I'm not Robin.
I didn't call you Robin. I called you sidekick, kid. All right? Robin, that's not Batman's son.
Well, Batman's sidekick is Robin.
I know. But am I Batman?
Yeah, you're wearing black.
This is dark blue.
Am I colorblind?
Yeah, I think you're colorblind. This is dark blue, aka navy blue. Yes, let's talk about school. Let's talk about how this is happening. I like it. So, no new school yet. That'll be next year. But we're basically working out of one office because Hamza, they've let you stay home, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going back to school? Why are we not in school?
Because COVID-19.
COVID-19. All right. Tell me what you know about COVID-19.
Well, COVID-19 is a sickness that spreads, and it's spreading all over the world.
Okay, very good. And what do we need to do to stay safe? Like, if you had to tell people what to do right now so that everyone can stay safe and healthy, what would you tell them?
We should wear masks and gloves.
Okay. Do you think everyone should be out?
Mm-mm.
What if you have to go out?
It's better if you stay inside, but if you do go out, bring a mask with you and some gloves.
Okay, and then what should you do anything special after you go out, like when you come back home?
Well, if you sell a house and you're very happy, you should be Yahoo! I sold a house.
You know, not everyone sells houses, right?
I know.
Other people have other jobs.
Oh.
I know that's what you think everyone does, is just sell houses every time they go out.
Well, not everybody.
Okay. So that's good. That's good info, man. Well, I think when they get back home, probably wash their hands really well. Maybe even shower every single time.
I made me a bath.
Yeah. Oh, you like bath time. All right. Those are more relaxing. All right. Well, that's good info, man. I think that'll be really helpful for everyone. But today we're going to be talking about some really neat stuff, buddy. Oh, look. Ariel sold a house. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
So let's talk about some neat, really good stuff, buddy. And I know some of it's going to be boring, but you're going to have to help me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So right now, I don't know if you know, Hamza, there's a lot of people that are not working. And even though they're not working, they're not even getting paid. Did you know that? Is that a no? Is that a yes? Is that...
My mind is blown.
Your mind is blown? Yeah, well...
Well, they don't work from home?
Not everyone works from home. There are a lot of... So, for example, did you know Disney closed?
What did you say?
Yeah. Disney's completely closed. It's empty.
Even in China? Well, of course it closed in China.
Yeah, Disney World China definitely closed. Okay, so all Disneys are closed. But Disney here in Orlando is closed. Universal, Harry Potter World, close.
No, not Harry Potter World.
Yeah.
Did the Harry Potter movies close?
The movies are the movies. We can watch those anytime. But those aren't closed. But here's what happens. Some of these people, because it's all closed, their jobs are not paying them any money because they can't go to work, even though it's not their fault.
Yeah, but what if they're like someone like you and they work from home?
Well, then if they're lucky like me that they get to work from home, then they're okay. Okay? Then they're fine. But there's a lot of people that don't have that choice. And there's a lot of people that they had to go to work, and right now their job, oh look, the movie theaters are closed, so we can't go there. See, so like people at the movie theater shut down. A lot of restaurants, like Chipotle, your favorite, but they do delivery. Chipotle does delivery.
Oh, thank God. Then why don't we order Chipotle?
Not tonight.
Yeah,
Coronavirus, that's why, kid. So we're trying to eat in, be safe, not let everyone out there. But at the same time, because these people are not getting paid.
Wait, Chipotle's not getting paid?
Not everyone's going.
No.
Okay. You're freaking out, huh? Do you know that even though they're not getting paid, they still have to pay everything? You know how Mama and I have to pay bills? Well, other people still have to pay bills. Yeah, make it rain. Making that cheddar.
My cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese, that's right. Well, not everyone's making cheddar cheese, therefore they can't pay their bills. Did you know that? I'm gonna take that as a big no, because you keep going empty on me. Because you don't know what to say, do you? Alright, well, the information I'm gonna give today, it's gonna try to help some of those people, okay? So I'm gonna start talking about it.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you,
You're
bud.
a lifesaver.
Aw, thank you, sweetie.
Also, you're a lightsaver.
I'm a lightsaber. Definitely not Star Wars, but I do enjoy it. Alright, guys, so as you see, I have my sidekick with me. Hamza Rodriguez, he's going to be helping me with some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is a little boring, but he has been learning about mortgages. What was that one term you learned that I'm supposed to not do too many of? Started with a 1 and a 0. 10-0.
Was it a 10-5?
10-03.
No.
10-03, you almost had it, which is doing a mortgage application. But let's get started. All right, guys, so here's where it is. So let's see, quite a few of you joined. So FHA, as again, the stimulus package came out, it only addressed getting everything into forbearance packages, but it didn't address how to handle late payments. It didn't address how to handle a lot of things. And so, of course, FHA, HUD, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, which are all the big government-backed entities, have been working really, really hard on trying to get programs out here, trying to get them out there so there is clarity. Does it affect your credit score? Does it affect how you have to pay it back and everything? And I know I just made a video letting you guys know yesterday about the mortgage payments and how if you did a forbearance package, it technically means you're going to have everything to be paid at once. So the letter that came out strictly from HUD and strictly from FHA, it has to do if you have an FHA mortgage. Okay, so if you're under a conventional mortgage, if you're under a VA mortgage, those are not being addressed in this letter, okay? Not today. Hopefully in the next few days, as we can see, there are being changes made absolutely daily. I believe, I mean, I can't prove it, I'm not there, but it seems like people are just working really, really hard in overtime to get some of this stuff resolved. So let's go through some of it like I mentioned. Here's what I got, and if you follow me on my personal Facebook, you'll see I actually posted a link to this so you can physically see the PDF, and you can actually go scroll down to page 3 and you're going to start seeing stuff getting highlighted. Okay, so let's talk about this. So it talks about the initial forbearance period may be up to 6 months. So what it's talking about here is that when you call and when you go ahead and apply for forbearance, they can actually right off the bat give you up to 6 months from the beginning depending on your situation. What they're really saying though is that the lenders are actually probably more likely going to do this 3 months at a time, just so we can all be on the same page. Our understanding of it, the per instructions, is 3 months at a time. You paying attention? Good. What that it's saying after that, though, it's after that 6 month period, they can go ahead and extend up to another 6 months. And that part, it does say that it must be approved by the mortgagee, meaning the person you pay for. So the first 6 months are given, meaning that first 2 sections where you're applying for it for the first 3 months and the second 3 months, they can't give you any kickback. They can't fight with you. The lenders, the services, they are to basically, no questions asked, agree to do that. So that's pretty standard right now. Again, and this is for FHA. During that period, they must, and this says it in there, they must waive all late charges, all fees, all penalties, as long as you're on the forbearance package. So then the question becomes, how do you assure you're on the forbearance package? How do you guarantee that? Well, they've gone ahead and addressed it. You as a borrower can go ahead and request it one or 2 ways. Okay? You can request it on the phone or through email. Either way, you got banks doing it right online, so through email or on the phone. So it is saying you still have to reach out, like we've been saying this whole time for the last 2 weeks. Please pick up the phone if you need to apply for this, or go ahead and email them. From there, the lender or the servicer can go ahead and reply through email, text, fax, teleconferencing, websites, email. They're allowed to reply in any shape, form, or way. I highly recommend you keep it in writing. So however they do reply, make sure you keep records of it. Okay, because you want to make sure you have proof. Okay, so really, really key there that we understand that is how you go about it. That's what it is. So how is this different than just a traditional forbearance package per this FHA letter? I think it's really key in here that we discuss this. And a couple things that might make a few people ineligible. So if as of March 1st, 2020, so literally just the month of March, you had to be on time. If you were 30 days late at all already, and you went into this month already 30 days past due, you will not get qualified for the forbearance package. You can't apply for it. You can't do anything about it. Okay, it's unfortunate, but they are trying to make sure that people are not taking advantage of the system. So if you were already having issues, that is a thing. But if you were caught up, you're still eligible. So now we got 2 eligibility things. A, it must be an FHA loan. And it's not, it must be an FHA loan for a forbearance package. If it must be an FHA loan to be able to use the forbearance package I'm discussing about today. And I'll explain the differences here. And that's because this one has very strict instructions on how it's going to protect the consumer. And that's really important. Okay? So on there, it's also going to go ahead that the borrower indicates they have the ability to resume making payments on time once the forbearance package is over. So I think we talked about yesterday how, basically all these payments are going to be due at once. Very, very concerning. Okay, and it is very concerning because they're talking about it here. And I'll go over how they made changes to some of the verbiage in here, which is really good, it's really helpful. But we also got to make sure that we allow the people that truly need it to take advantage of it. And the way it does that, it says that one of the other clauses is the property is owner occupied. An FHA loan is supposed to be for a primary residence, not an investment property, not a second home. So it must be owner occupied. So that is the other key there. During this time, like I mentioned, they're going to waive all those late fees. They're going to waive incurring interest, any of that. So what happened yesterday, and then there are a lot of, several pages on here, but not that many, about 7 pages. But the main part of it is in there. What FHA did is they signed a giant bill, which is part of the stimulus package. Are you falling asleep on me? Is this boring? Just a little. Don't worry, we're gonna get you involved here.
Tell them about the test at one time.
we're going to talk this. But yes, we can talk about the test, okay?
Okay.
We can talk about the test right after this, okay? Don't fall asleep on me. All right, don't fall asleep there, and I'll wake you back up when I need you, okay? I'm going to need you soon, though.
Your hands are cold.
Oh, thanks. I'll keep those to myself. So on that note, and told you guys I had a special guest with for you guys. On that note, though, really, really important that what they did yesterday is they signed part of that stimulus package. They went ahead and they allocated several, I think it was over $3 billion, if I recall correctly. Let's get that up here for you guys. I believe it was over $3 billion. And basically the way this is what basically everyone pays PMI for. The premium mortgage insurance we all pay for when we do an FHA loan. It's basically part of the stimulus package, part of going through all this. What it's going to go ahead and do, it's after this, when everyone needs to go back and start paying, it's going to go ahead and they're going to basically grab these loans that are going to be deferred, because people are going to need the deferment. But understand, not everyone is going to qualify. Why? Because what they're going to do at that point, they're actually going to probably ask for proof. Even though it doesn't state it, it does state that when you go back after the 6 months, after the 3 months, or after the 1 year, because maybe you needed the additional extension, that then you are to apply for this either deferment or minor small loan modification. And the way they're addressing this is that basically the lender is going to go ahead and get a settlement check or some kind of check or loan amount from FHA, but basically to supplement what you missed out. So that way the lender can still make their payments to their investors, to their hedge funds, to the people they need to, so it doesn't affect the lenders negatively, which is again why they're taking on these FHA loans. And here's what's really, really important on the business side of this. FHA doing this, it's absolutely critical for FHA financing to continue the way it has after we come out of this. Because the purpose and the reason why the lenders do FHA loans is for the PMI, the mortgage insurance on there. And that PMI is supposed to do exactly what it's doing here and relieve the lenders and relieve the servicers from any kind of distress like this that's out of their hands, so they can still pay their hedge funds and their investors. So if FHA doesn't do this right and we don't do this right, and I would say we don't do this right, and I'll explain to you why I say that, FHA loans can basically diminish after this because no one's going to want to do them. Here's the thing. Again, there's a little over $3 billion that was allocated to this package and to this bill. $3 billion, Hamza.
Say what?
Exactly. And even though does that sound like a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a lot of moolah.
Okay. It is a lot of moolah, but it's not a lot of moolah when it has to cover anyone and everyone that misses an FHA loan, when people are applying for this when they really didn't need it. And that's what's key here. The purpose of this stimulus package is to help make sure that in 6 months, 3 months, again to a year, people are not going to lose their homes. Do we want anyone to lose their home?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Well, if they lose their home, that would be... Yeah, I was just thinking about hotels.
Hotels are more expensive than homes. Yeah, buddy. I know you love hotels because they bring everything to you. But
and I get to stay in the bed.
Yep, and just like that. But here's the thing. We don't want... So if everyone that shouldn't be applying for this package applies, and then basically FHA can't actually help all the servicers the way they needed to because now they paid out too much. Well, then the servicers and the investors and the hedge funds that back these companies up for this are no longer going to want to take these loans, which means down the road, I guess they're not going to be as friendly, or the guidelines will actually change permanently. Like I explained yesterday, FHA hasn't changed guidelines. Lenders have, investors have, banks have, simply because they're nervous. So FHA stepping up and doing this right now, critical. Us making sure that if we can afford, continue to pay, critical, so the people that truly need it can actually get helped. And so we're not being selfish, and therefore someone else can keep their home. Really, where it kind of plays hand in hand with each other. So I hope that helps understand that. Hopefully you guys got that. I do want to also talk about appraisals. Kind of teach Hamza about appraisals here a little bit. I don't think he even knows what that word means.
Nope. But you're gonna teach me.
That's right. So appraisals, buddy. So when someone goes to buy a home, kind of like when we bought a home, right? We have to go ahead and get somebody that doesn't care
About what?
if we buy it or not.
Are there some houses that are free?
Some houses that are free. Not that I've ran into, but I'm sure in some places there might be some.
I'm gonna buy it.
If it's free,
when COVID-19 ends.
Question. If it's free, how can you buy something that's free if it doesn't cost anything?
You don't get the money.
But is that buying something if you didn't pay for it?
Well, not really. You're just taking it.
So are you stealing because you took it?
No, we're not stealing. We're just like, if it's free.
If it's free, can you buy it or can you steal it?
We buy it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
We buy it with invisible money.
So is this a riddle?
What?
Exactly. We will have to continue this conversation later because I think right now your head's spinning. But basically, what an appraiser does is normally, really, it's an unbiased opinion of what a property is worth. Everyone thinks that the appraiser truly does know what it's worth. What they're really doing, guys, is they're going to go ahead and they're going to do their research. And their goal is to give the lender and the borrower an unbiased opinion of what the property is worth. Normally, to accomplish this, they have to go into the house. And by going into the house, they take a bunch of pictures. They take pictures on the outside. Then they're going to go ahead and they're going to pull up a bunch of information on recently sold properties to basically come up with a number. However, part of that is, if you probably heard me, is that they're going into other people's home. Is that safe right now with COVID-19?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, people are stealing stuff to like stay safe, but it isn't safe that they're going in people's houses.
Okay. Well, do you think we have better ways to take pictures of people's houses or look at the inside of their home without going inside?
Asking them for permission.
Okay, but what if we as a human didn't have to go inside? Can we still see the inside of their house without going inside?
Yeah, the windows.
The windows, okay. What about what you're doing right now? How do you talk to your friends right now?
Call them.
Okay, how do you
Zoom?
talk? On Zoom. There you go. Good job.
And this person is gonna do like talk to people on Zoom.
Yeah,
So the person who wants to buy a house will show their screen, or he will show a screen.
Yeah, we do a lot of Zoom calls here, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
You do Zoom conferences, I do Zoom conferences. Very Zoom friendly house right now. Here's what's going on though, guys. Appraisers, not even appraisers. So right now, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, they're trying to make all this a lot more lenient on getting these appraisals done. As you can imagine, if you're a listing agent or even you have your home up for sale, you might not want everyone coming in your house. Here's what we've been instructed to do. We've been instructed as individuals when we're ordering an appraisal to still order the full appraisal, meaning interior, exterior. It is then up to the appraiser's discretion to decide what the necessary steps and what really is allowed for that appraisal, meaning that they can decide what they've been rephrasing to as a drive-by appraisal. Okay? A drive-by appraisal means that they're literally taking pictures of the outside only, and then they're doing the rest of their due diligence. So I think the fact that Fannie and Freddie are allowing this is huge. The fact that they actually put this in writing is going to help make sure that appraisals are still happening. And right now, all appraisers in the state of Florida, at least that we know of, all the big AMC companies that we order from are on board with making this happen and not slowing down, which is huge for the real estate market. So that's really going to help us. One of the other things they're doing is that appraisers are working with the sellers. So we were talking about Zoom calls. They're saying, no problem, don't let me in your house, but I need you to go basically take videos or pictures of these areas. And they're accepting them from the sellers. So if you're an agent out there, or you're another loan officer, you're another lender, communication with the listing agent and with the seller is going to be key. So when that appraiser goes out there, they need to understand they got to be flexible. Look, if you don't want to let them in the house or you're uncomfortable, then you got to work with us, or work with them, I should say, to make this happen. But they're willing to work with you guys. Also, how do they make sure utilities are on? Same thing. They're going to go outside. They're going to see certain things. And if they have no reason to believe they're off, they're not working, they're going to go ahead and do that. So it's not taking shortcuts, but there are a lot of things that already came out in writing from Fannie and Freddie to accommodate these situations, which are really, really good, really, really helpful. I think it's going to make it unique because it's going to go ahead and lead, after we come out of this, into, hey, is there a better way to get these appraisals done quicker? So it's also a big learning curve for a lot of us, for everyone. They're also allowing final inspections. If the appraiser can't get back out there in time because of everything going on, we have seen lenders, and again, Fannie and Freddie have said it's okay that we receive pictures, maybe from the seller, maybe from whoever, especially if at the time it was subject to and there needed to be a second inspection done because something needed to be fixed. They're allowing us to accept third-party pictures at certain moments. However, here's the thing, it's not the lender decides, the loan officer decides, the realtor decides. It is being left up to the appraiser's discretion on what the best practice is for that particular house. So it is going to be a case by case. So again, if you're a listing agent, if you're a seller, just be very, very flexible if you want to make this happen right now, because they are being very flexible with their guidelines. And here's what I believe. I believe that Monday we're going to have more updates, and every single day or every other day, something's going to change to adjust, because the reality of it is that there are plenty of home goings up for sale still. Hamza knows. He thinks everyone sells homes, so that means there's a lot of homes being sold, right?
But also I have a question. Remember you said earlier, like, taking pictures or videos of houses?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it rude to take pictures and videos of people's houses?
Well, these people are being paid to do that, so that is a good question. But these people an appraiser gets permission, and he's being paid to go do that. But that's why it's important that they're working with them. But very good question. Yes, it is rude to take pictures of random people's houses, strangers' houses, if we don't have their permission. That is very accurate. Privacy is important, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Very, very important. And he told you guys, I got him. He's going to keep me in check for sure, right? Sure I don't get out of line? Okay.
You don't get out of this position. It's a good position.
Oh yeah, it's comfy? All right, guys.
So I can lay on you. You're like a bed.
Thank you. So guys, I hope that lets you know that even though we've been stressing about not doing certain things and not taking advantage of certain things, understand that because I'm not the only one that's been talking about. It's definitely been talked about. There's definitely a lot of concerns. Here's what the reality of the marketplace is, especially with real estate. It's the first quarter of this year that just finished out. For almost anyone and everyone that's in this industry, in Central Florida in general, was one of the biggest real estate quarters we've had in a long time, if that tells you what kind of marketplace we were in. And here's the thing, second quarter was projected already to be bigger. All this has done, it's like a dam, it's put a giant plug on all this want and need for real estate. So if you are looking to buy or if you are looking to sell, then the need and the want is still there in the marketplace. It's just being slowed down for inconveniences that are out of our hand. And as long as we can get through this in the next 90 days, maybe 6 months, when all this is said and done, everything within 2 months, if not sooner, will go back to normal. Because there was nothing indicating, and still isn't anything indicating, that the market's supposed, especially the real estate market's supposed to go into a recession of any kind or anything of such sorts. Again, the things that can cause us to not come out of this time not well It's people taking advantage of the system to where funds run out, people taking advantage of the government to where funds run out, and then the people that truly needed the help don't get the help, so they lose their homes. And as you heard from me, we don't want anyone to lose their homes. You want anyone to lose their homes?
Nope.
No.
Scary. I don't want to be on the street.
He doesn't want to be on the street. We don't want anyone to be on the street.
You guys don't want to be on the street.
No. So if there's anything I can do, if you just need advice, if you just need me to look at your scenario, please understand that we're here to help. Simply give advice. Simply educate. Also, again, the things that came out were particularly on FHA loans. Like I said, make sure you're just getting anything and everything they're telling you over the phone in writing to protect yourself. And hopefully Fannie and Freddie here come out with additional guidelines to also basically follow along what FHA says. Sometimes very common, sometimes not. Again, this is a unique scenario. We've never seen it before. So I really appreciate your guys' time. I hope you liked my special guest today.
I'm a really good special guest.
Yeah, you are, buddy.
I'm going to probably join all your videos.
Oh, boy. There we go. So we're going to definitely have to get you caught up on mortgage talk.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, oh, boy. So we'll get you, teach you how to work. And on that being said, make sure you guys follow him on
Instagram
and
Facebook
and
subscribe to me on YouTube.
And what's your channel's name?
Hamza's Corner. My Instagram is called also Hamza's Corner.
There, you guys got it.
And my Facebook is Hamza Rodriguez.
You guys heard it from the man himself. All right, so make sure you're following him. I'm hopefully going to be having a special guest tomorrow. Just so you know, a different one. Sorry, but I have a different one.
Could I join still?
Maybe. We'll see. Okay, don't freak out yet.
Yeah, but who's the guest? Shouldn't we tell them?
I'm getting there. God, I'm trying to build up tension and you're over here ruining it. For those of you that have been laid off, for those of you that don't have medical care right now, or insurance or anything like that, our boy Kai, the insurance guy, shout out to you, Kai. Not sure if you're on, not on, but my goal is to have a conversation with him because there are a lot of people that, as we know, are laid off. How did they lose their insurance? Like, I don't even know. I want to know. I want to ask the man himself who could see what we can do to help those people without insurance that need insurance, especially at a time like this. My understanding is that Obamacare, people that were trying to apply are being declined for it. So let's get more information out to you guys. So that'll be tomorrow around 10 a.m. is the goal. So really hope you guys can tune in. And that way we can keep feeding you guys really, really good knowledge, really good information. So you can be informed and prepared and make great decisions for your lives. Thank you so much again, everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye.